So for most parents, you probably have heard follow awake windows, follow awake windows, follow awake windows. But in this video, I'm actually going to explain that when sleep gets messy, it is actually time to move away from wake windows into a set schedule. So if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jensine. I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant, certified postpartum doula, mom of 3, who takes real sleep science with actual life strategies, pairs them together to get you the sleep that your family deserves. So it can be really confusing when to know when to move away from awake windows and move into an actual set schedule for your little one. So this video is going to end that confusion for you so you know exactly when to do it and how to do it in the best way possible for you and your little one. So the first thing to think about is that wake windows work beautifully in the earlier months. This is really like 0 to 3 months. We have to follow awake windows because your baby can only tolerate being awake for so long. There isn't going to be a schedule because their nap lanes are going to vary, their feed lanes are going to vary, all of those good things. You're going to be sleeping so much and probably taking a little bit longer to eat. So it's going to be a little bit confusing. Everything's not going to be able to go by the clock. So in the early months, awake windows is really where we want to stick to make sure that they're not getting overtired and getting all of the sleep that they really need. But as babies get older, their sleep pressure starts to come in, circadian rhythms start to set, and we start to be able to get into habits more during the day. So we really want to switch around 3-4 months into a set schedule away from awake windows so that things can start to habitually happen. Their body can start to set based on that circadian rhythm. We can start to build that so they know about when to get tired every day. Bedtime is going to be offered at the same time. Their awake time is going to be at the same time. And they're going to know about when naps are going to come every day because that is going to be what helps naps happen easier. Where if one day a nap is being offered at 9 a.m. and the next day the nap is at 11 and the next day the nap is at 10:15, their body is going to be really confused and they're going to have no idea when sleep is going to be coming, which is going to make it that much harder for them to be able to go to sleep and to stay asleep. The next thing to think about is if sleep is starting to feel really inconsistent, that is the time to actually build in more consistency and move to a very set schedule. If you wake up in the morning and have no idea what your day is going to look like and your baby is 3.5 months or older, then this is the time to build in that consistency, both for them and for you. It's really difficult when nobody knows what the day is going to bring. It's very nice when babies thrive on consistency. So knowing, okay, I'm going to play and then I'm going to nap and then I'm going to eat and then I'm going to play and then I'm going to nap. It makes it much easier for them to know what to expect, and their nervous systems really kind of get out of whack when they have no idea what is going to be coming. Everything feels very, I don't know when I'm going to eat next. I don't know when I'm going to sleep next. We want them to know so that they can feel really comfortable and confident moving through their day, and that you can as well. When naps vary wildly, when bedtime is a struggle because they're not really ready to sleep or they're overtired because they haven't been given the sleep that they need, and mornings just keep getting earlier and earlier, that is your sign to get more predictable with your little one's sleep and move away from just winging it during the day to really being able to set the scene and have them know exactly what is going to come next. So when things are unpredictable, we go not strict schedule, but we go set schedule so you can know what's going to happen and they can know what's going to happen. And the last thing to think about is that this transition doesn't have to be all or nothing. I've worked with a ton of families who have said, I don't want our children to dictate our lives. I really want to be able to go out to lunch whenever we want to, or go to brunch, or do this or do that. And I don't want their sleep schedule, we always have to be home for naps every single day. So there's a couple of different things that we can do if that is your family lifestyle. And this is why I work one-to-one with clients, because really everybody's goals are different. All of the end goals are different. Some families are like, yes, we'll be home every single nap, no questions asked. Some families are like, we don't want to do that. We want to live our life. We want to go out and explore and do things. So we have to find something that works for everybody. And that is my job, to take what you want your goals to be and to help you develop a plan to meet those goals, but still get everybody the sleep that they need. So you can do a little bit of a hybrid approach. You can have a very set bedtime and a very set morning time, and then leave the middle times a little bit more open, a little bit more flexible. I wouldn't have it be so flexible where like sometimes there's a nap offered and sometimes there isn't, or sometimes a nap is offered at 9 and the other times, ooh, I forgot to give you a nap and it's now 12:30. We would still have some semblance of maybe like more awake windows or following cues when they get tired. But we need to have something in the middle of the day and still that very structured morning time and bedtime so your child knows what to expect. Really anchoring those times at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day is going to help you be able to be a little bit more flexible in the middle without everything falling apart and your child being awake multiple times overnight or being up early to start their day every single day. So if you're kind of unsure about where your baby falls, if they're ready for this shift, if you're ready for this shift, this is exactly what I do to help families figure this middle ground out and how to know when to move from awake windows to a set schedule, and then what is an appropriate set schedule for their age. So you can always go down to the description. There are a bunch of ways to work with me. We can work one-on-one. There are DIY plans available. I just want you to know that moving from awake windows to a set schedule is going to be your next step if sleep is feeling really unpredictable, really all over the place, and you were looking for a little bit more of a concrete plan, a concrete knowledge of what your day is going to be like from day to day. So put any questions that you have, as always, in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.